So good morning, everyone. Before I join you laying down, I wanted to read a poem that I've read many times before. This is one of my favorite yoga books of inspiration, and it's called Go In and In by Donna Falls. And I was reminded of one of her poems that I thought I would share with you, and it's called Let It Go. She says, let go of the ways you thought life would unfold, the holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you receive it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go and the waves' crest will carry you to unknown shores, beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. And I've found that to be particularly true this year. The things that I thought I would be doing have all gone away, and new things have arrived in its place. So we let go of what we thought would happen so we can live the life we have right now. So feel your body on the mat. Your legs can be straight, your knees can be bent, whatever feels really good for you. Your shoulders softly moving toward the floor. Your hands can rest on the lower belly. There's a lot of space behind your neck. And you start out here just breathing. Just taking this glorious breath in and out. We find with all that is going on that this breath becomes even more cherished, appreciated. If your feet are on the floor, maybe you feel those feet on the floor and you notice what parts of your feet are touching and not touching. Maybe you can feel your toes, maybe individually, maybe not. Notice if you tend to lean heavy to the outer or the inner sides of the feet. If your legs are straight, where do the calves land? Where do the back of the thighs land? Can you feel your hips and notice if one feels higher than the other, if one is rotated more than the other, maybe snuggle them both equally to the floor? And then shoulders. And then the back of the head. And imagine that your world both got smaller because we have centered ourselves on our mats, but it has also gotten bigger because we have opened the door to possibility. Notice your mind's chatter, your desire to get going, get moving, or to stay right here. And if your legs are straight, go ahead and bend the knees. And let your feet come to the floor. The feet are roughly hips width apart, but they should feel pretty comfortable. You're not squeezing them in or doing anything in particular. And then take both arms overhead. And if the shoulders allow, palms or face up, just stretch those arms up as you open up the chest, arching through your whole back, moving closer to your tailbone. And on the exhale, soften the elbows and press your back to the floor. Good. And again, reach the arms so they're straight behind your head, arching your whole back body. And as you exhale, the elbows bend more to the sides and the back flattens. Good. 3 more right here. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, big deep breath. Exhale it back down. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale it. Use all spaces of the lungs. Last one. Inhale, deep breath. And exhale. And then release those arms. Take the arms up to the ceiling. Draw your shoulders back. Hands together. Interlace your hands. Press the hands, the palms of the hands, up to the ceiling. And notice as you keep reaching how the chest tightens, how the shoulders round. Soften the elbows to the side so that the back shoulders come back to the floor. And then let the arms start to go overhead. Only go to the point where it feels okay. If there's pain, don't do it. And then inhale, bring them up, let them come back to your thighs. Good, real simple. Just take them up. If this is hurting your wrists, by the way, just unleash the hands, right? You can do this the same. And then back to your thighs. Good, 3 more right here. Just stretch it out. Keep the elbows soft. And then back to your thighs. And 2. And exhale. Good, last one. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale. And then bring those hands in and stretch them out. Shake out the fingers. Bend both knees. Bring your knees to your chest. Keep the right knee in. Stretch your left leg nice and long. Let it hover a couple of inches. And bring them in. Exhale. Stretch it out. Good. Bring the right knee in. Stretch the left leg long. Just warm it up. Soft, easy to warm up. Left knee in. Right leg nice and long. Good. And in. Last one. Stretch it out. And last side. Opposite side. And then both knees to chest. I want you to take your hands behind your thighs and take your legs up to the ceiling. And just kind of feel what that feels like. Shoulders go back down to the floor. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, so those hamstrings can wake up a little bit. But then reach your heels to the ceiling and your toes toward your nose. So you're really stretching out. If you can straighten your knees without hyperextending, do that. Even if your legs are a little bit lower. Because part of what starts to happen in our bodies is we quit extending, quit stretching all those tendons, right, that attach muscle to bone. Good, hang in there, breathe, and then release. Take your knees to your chest. Grab your blanket. If you don't have a blanket, a towel will work. And just do your best to turn it into a little blanket roll. And then put the blanket right on the tops of your thighs, like the very top where the crease is. And hold that blanket in place and bring your knees to your chest. You can wrap your hands around your shins or behind your knees. And I just want you to get a sense of that blanket kind of stuck right there between your thighs and your belly. Keep your right knee to chest and straighten the left leg really tall. So all the way up to the ceiling. Keep the blanket tight. I'm actually pressing down on the blanket with my elbows. And switch, go right and down. Good, left, one more.
And bend that knee, and right leg straight, and bend, and then both legs straight. I want you to snug that blanket in, take your arms on top of the blanket, and then your hands behind your thighs. So you're pressing that blanket down, you're pressing your shoulders down, creating some space here. Good, nice deep breath. Might feel different, it might not feel any different at all. And then let go of the hands so that the arms are straight down to your sides. My palms are face in. I'm pressing down into the blanket. Keep the blanket there and just lower the right leg a little bit. But then see if the left leg will snug higher into the blanket. So the left leg is having to work a lot harder to get purchase on that blanket. I don't know if you can feel that, but breathe. And then bring the right leg up. Exhale the left leg. See if you can squeeze that right leg up into the blanket. If you can't get any purchase, bend the knee. And I'm demoing there. Just bend the knee so you can push that thigh into the blanket. Breathe, everybody. Squeeze the left leg up. Exhale, right leg long. We're doing one more, both sides. Press the thigh into the blanket. Resist by pressing your arms down into the blanket or towel. Breathe. Good. Last one. Bring it up. Exhale. Lowering it down. Working with some of these hip flexors, right? So as in particular, find your breath. Good. Bring those legs up. Bend your knees. Bring your knees to chest. Blanket in place. Turn your head side to side. And then let your feet come to the floor. Knees are bent. You're going to take that same little blanket roll if you've got it. If not, maybe you turn it into a square. You're just going to make it bigger, basically, so it's about the shape of your block, and place it between your knees. Feet to the floor. Give the blanket a squeeze. If you don't have a blanket and your towel's doing nothing, grab your block and use that instead. Set your sacrum on the floor, teeny tiny space behind your lower back. Bring your knees to your chest, straighten the legs, don't let go of your blanket. Squeeze the heck out of your blanket. So softer, softer surface here instead of your block is a little easier on the knees, working with the inner thighs. And then bend your knees to 90. Hands come down to the floor. Press your hands to the floor. See if you can bring those heels to the floor. Just tap, squeeze it up. Bring the knees to 90, straighten the legs. There you go. Bend your knees, heels to the floor. You don't have to go that far. You should be squeezing the belly. Knees up, legs straight. Good. 3 more. Bend your knees. Go slow. Yeah, bring it up. Straighten the legs. Bend the knees. Heels close or to floor. They're just barely touching. Squeeze it in. We got 1 more. Bring the legs up. Bend the knees. Tap. Bring it up. And bring your knees to chest. Good. Take that same blanket. Take it between your ankles. If you think this is easier, it's not, right? It's like moving the weight sort of further and further away. You've got this little pivot point. Squeeze your blanket. Draw the belly in. Some of you might want to take your thumbs underneath your sacrum just to give your lower back a little bit more support. You know who you are, right? Breathe. So I want you to start easy. Bend the knees. Tap your heels. Bend the knees back up, straighten the legs. Oh yeah. Bend, belly in, tap down, squeeze it up, and straighten. Don't let go of that slippery blanket. Bend the knees, tap, bring it up, straighten the legs. 2 more here. Bend, tap, squeeze that blanket, Bring it up. We got one more to go. Bend and tap and bring it up. My blanket is just wobbling. Good. Straighten the legs. So there we go. That was 5. We're going to do 5 more. Here is your option. Pull those shoulders into your shoulder. Lengthen through the back of the neck. See if you can lower the legs a little bit while straight. That's your second option. Otherwise, your bent knees and heels. Good. Straightening it out. Lowering the legs until you cannot keep your low back from bowing up. And then squeeze the blanket to bring the legs back up. No speed here, right? Because we don't want momentum. Let's do 4 more. Lower down, squeeze the ankles into your blanket and squeeze it up. Good, you got it. 3 more. Squeeze the inner ankles. Squeeze it up. Oh boy, core work first thing in the morning. Lower down, at least for Leanne. Down, squeeze the inner ankles. Bring it up. We got 1 more right here. All the way down. And all the way up. And bend your knees. Grab your blanket and just set it aside. And place your feet back on the floor. Take the feet nice and wide and windshield wiper the knees so that you loosen those lovely hips. That's not bad. And then take the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana, supine Baddha Konasana. Nice and easy. Maybe you rock a little bit side to side. We're going to do a little bit of hip engagement, and I hope you can feel what we're going to do because it's a little hard to explain without seeing all of you. So from this Baddha Konasana position, I want you to take your left knee only and your left foot and just put your foot on the floor. Your left knee is pointing up to the ceiling. Your right leg is splayed out to the side. You may need your blanket. If your right knee is really high because of your hip structure, you might want your blanket somewhere underneath that hip to give it a little bit of support. If you're not sure, try it without. So I've got the sole of my right foot just pointed toward the inner ankle of my left. Now, all I want you to do here, I want you to try 2 things. I want you to engage your right hip. So you should feel yourself pop up. Maybe right hip isn't the correct word. Maybe it's your glute. I want you to squeeze your glute while pressing into your left leg. And just kind of notice that, right? Let's do that 4 more times. So squeeze, really engage, push your left foot into the floor. You'll feel left hip engage some and down. And then 3, squeeze. If this feels like either nothing or too much, you can put something under that right thigh to help give some feedback. And down, 1 more. Squeeze up. And down. Now, so notice how that felt. And then all I want you to do, I want you to keep the right leg somewhat relaxed. But I want you to lift your left foot off the floor just a couple of inches. And if you're having a similar experience, your right hip does not relax, your right glutes don't relax, right? That whole muscle is engaged. My right foot somewhat flexed, I'm pushing into the pinky side edge of my foot. My whole right hip is fired up and working. Just notice, hold that foot up. It's just a few inches. It doesn't have to be high. And breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good, let's just do 1 more of those. So first relax and just notice that when you lift your left foot off the floor, the right side engages more so that you can stay supported. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure with 1 foot lifted, right? You would either just drop into the floor or you would start to wobble. So really squeeze. If you're not feeling this, write me later. I'll talk to you then. Good, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and let go. Ooh, bring the right knee back to center. Oh yeah. Bring both knees to chest. Take both legs straight up. Pretend you've got the blanket between them. Flex your feet. Squeeze the legs together. Maybe you bend the knees, maybe not. Lower them all the way down to the floor. And then bend both knees. Legs back to Baddha Konasana. We're going to go to the other side. So your left leg stays splayed out, or you put a blanket or something under it to give you some tactile feedback, right? So to feel that. Bring your right foot to the floor so your right knee is pointing up to the sky. First thing I want you to do is push down into your right foot to feel your left hip kind of lift and engage. It's almost as if your inner groin is lifting up here. And then lower down. 4 more. Squeeze, push your right foot into the floor. Really engage that outer left hip. And down. Good. 3 more. Squeeze up. And down. Good. Squeeze up. And down. And last one. Squeeze up. And down. Just relax it. And then go the opposite, kind of opposite way. I want you to press into the pinky side and just barely lift your right foot off the floor. I feel this one so much more. That whole glute has to wrap around the hip muscle, around the hip bone to hold that in place. So breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let go. When you let go fully. Even if you have to bring the left knee in, if you need some break on the inner thigh. All right, let's do it again. Breathe, lift your right foot a couple of inches, press into the pinky edge of your left foot. Try to keep your upper body really soft here, right? Maybe low belly tone just a little bit. And let go. Good, 3 more, or wait, maybe 1 more. Press in. We only did 2 on that side, but I think I didn't hold it quite as long. So breathe, let's do it. Lifting that foot, squeezing into your butt, just notice. And let go. Good, and bring your left knee up. Bring both knees to chest, take both legs up to the sky. Either bend the knees to tap heels or lower those legs all the way down, slow, slow, slow. And release, just pause for a second. And then bend your knees. Take the legs to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. You're going to have 2 choices here. Either you're just going to push your feet together and squeeze your glutes in the process, right? Your low back should be nice and neutral. Your shoulders, upper body relaxed. Either just stay there. That's plenty of work for those hips again. Or you're going to lift the hips an inch or 2 off the floor. Soles of the feet are pressing down. Your hips and glutes are squeezing in. Your hands are wherever they are comfortable. Your upper body and head neck should be really comfortable. And then just breathe. You have to do nothing else here. Let's see if you can hold those hips off the floor or not, right? As you start to kind of weave and bob and the knees start to move and the hips maybe start to bob a little bit. If you have any discomfort, hips, knees, or otherwise, just take the hips back down, bring the legs together. Good, hang in there, low belly tone, but not overly. If you can, stay in this position, but bring the knees just an inch toward each other. You got it. And just kind of get a sense of what's happening with the glute muscles and with the hip muscles as they kind of draw in toward the bone to hold you in this position. And then bring them in just an inch again. You might really start to wobble here. That's normal. Breathe. You're going to start to move toward the soles of your feet. Bring them in another inch. Lengthen through the tailbone. Don't let the low back or the hips drop unnecessarily. Good. Starting to feel those inner thighs starting to bop. bop and bounce a little bit more. Bring them in another inch or two. So mine are probably halfway to center for me. Breathe, squeeze the glutes, don't let go. And then let your feet come to the floor. You're in a low bridge. Nice low bridge. And just notice, now squeeze the imaginary blanket between your thighs, but then let the inner thighs be heavy. And breathe. And notice, right? Maybe you're feeling this, maybe not. Lean into your left foot, lift your right foot an inch or two. Oh, that's it. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Press into your right foot, lift your left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Come all the way down. Bring your knees to your chest. I know, right? Good. Straighten the legs up to the sky. Shoulders down to the floor. Either you're bending your knees and bringing heels, or you're straightening the legs all the way down. If you choose straight legs, take them all the way down. Please don't do that if it hurts your back. Just come all the way to the floor and bend both knees and bring it into chest. Beautiful. Good. Roll over to your right side. Grab your lovely blanket. If you have it, take it between your knees. You can use a pillow here. You can use a nice fat towel. Any of that's going to work. Make sure your upper body is comfortable. I like kind of leaning on my hand and my elbow, but if that isn't good for you, maybe you drop all the way down. So you're right here. You're squeezing your lovely blanket. Maybe you move your foot away from your other foot so that leg's pretty level. And you're just going to notice how that feels to you as you squeeze the blanket. And then move your top foot away from your other foot. Good internal rotation. And then drop it down to your other foot and lift up. So we did some of this last class, right? These are, I call them reverse clams. The big thing here is to not let your pelvis rock. It should stay pretty straight on. Bring it up, hold, and down. Bring it up, hold, down. One more right here. This time I want you to hold. Breathe, tone the belly, squeeze the knee into the blanket a little bit, right? And notice all the sensation around that outer hip, outer thigh, and breathe. And then lift the knee so that the foot and the ankle are pretty level. And then lift it 1 more inch. But don't let the foot go too much higher than the knee. See if you can lift 1 more. Hold. Now squeeze the lower belly. Keep the hips stacked, one on top of the other. See if you can still lift more. If you lift knee or ankle, you'll come out of alignment. So keep that knee to ankle line as straight, parallel to the floor as possible. Good, lift higher. Lift higher. Go to your level. You should feel your behind, right? Your butt squeezing. And then open the knee so that the foot and the knee are pointing more toward the front edge of your mat. And lower down. Yeah. Right, not so bad. Good. Lift again. Find that parallel line. And then I want you to take the knee just 1 inch toward the back, toward behind you, and hold. Squeeze the belly. Take it another inch behind and hold. So we're using the stability muscles here to keep that leg lifted as we start to move. Move it back another inch, another inch, another inch, another inch. Now, right now my knee is pretty much straight out from my hips. I'm going to press both hips forward. And I'm going to keep them there because my butt wants to go back. So press both hips forward and then start to take the knee back more. Back more. Do not go into your lower back. I want glute work, not back, low back work. Take it to your level. Big deep breath. From here, if you can, straighten the leg. Toes point forward, not up. Notice, good, squeeze the belly, don't let your top hip, I just felt my top hip want to lean way forward. And then take that same leg straight forward until you try to touch your nose. And then straight back. Good, straight forward, hang in there. And straight back. One more, straight forward. Straight back. Straight forward. Lord, I'm not gonna remember everything on the other side. Hold that straight forward. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knee. Let it rest on top of the blanket. Oh. And breathe. All right, so either turn around because you don't need to see your screen, or flip over. I've held on to my blanket the whole time. You're gonna come down onto your left side, which is very happy to be done with that. Your blanket is between your knees. Your upper body's comfortable. Your belly is toned. So first thing to do is just squeeze into your blanket. Just squeeze it. Sometimes, especially after a lot of glute work, engaging and squeezing the inner thighs actually feels really good. It's a release. Good. And then keep somewhat of a squeeze and just lift your foot away from your other foot and down. When you lift, pause, right? Feel the top end for you and down. Don't worry about how high it goes. It's not about that. It's about finding your range of motion as you lift and lower your leg or your foot. Good, breathe. Taking it up nice and high and down, keeping a soft squeeze of the blanket up and down. Good, a couple more up and down and up. Good, this last one I want you to hold. Just hold it there and just see. It's interesting to me, this side internally rotates much more than my left side for me, right? So I'm just kind of noticing that. And then level it out as you lift your knee up toward the, kind of so it's level. And just notice that. Notice how that feels. And then take it back just a little bit. Squeeze your belly. And then take it back a little bit. And take it back a little bit. Good, a little bit more, notice. Take it back. Now for me, it's pretty straight off the hips. So I'm gonna bring my hips forward, squeeze your butt. Take it back a little bit more. Don't let the knee drop, don't let the ankle lift. Take it back. Take it back, find your level, right? Find where it makes sense for you. Squeeze the belly, keep the hips level. Take that leg back where to go. I'm running out of room because of neck. I'm at the wall, so breathe. And then straighten the leg from there. Toes point forward. Good, take that leg all the way up toward your nose. All the way back. Take it all the way forward. All the way back. Good, take it forward. Squeeze all the way back. I've forgotten something on this side. It's going too fast. Take it forward and back. And then take it forward. Hold right here. Just hold it. Notice, squeeze your belly, everybody. And lower it down. And breathe. Good. And then press yourself all the way up. Let's set your blanket aside. I forgot something, but I'll look back later and find out what that was. Betty's not saying a word over there, so. Good. Shake it out, everyone. Lean back. Just make sure your shoulders aren't dropping. Take your feet wide and windshield wiper the legs. That's better. And then take the legs to center. Let your knees go to the
right. I'm not going to mirror here, so my knees are pointing right. Knees are pointing to the right. And then let your right hand be supported behind you, and just see if you can lift your left leg off the floor. This hand, your left hand, can be really anywhere that makes sense for you to stay stable. And then bring your left knee in toward your chest and press it back, but don't let it come to the floor if you can help it. Good, bring it up and squeeze it back. Bring it up. Watch the hips here, don't hurt. And up. Good, last one, I want you to hold it back right here. Woo! And then drop down to your elbow and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lift back into your hands and release it and straighten that leg out. Woo! Good stuff. You know, you wonder, you're like, okay, what's this got to do with yoga? Well, it has everything to do with yoga. How do you do a beautiful standing pose, right? How do you do balance poses? How do you do lunges if the hips and the glutes are not supporting your femurs, right? Your pelvis. So good stuff, I hope. Good, bend your knees, feet to the floor, windshield wiper your feet. Breathe. The next time those knees are to the left, go ahead and pause. And then lean into your left foot and lift your right off the floor. As best you can, you're keeping it level, right? It might not be perfect because you're really internally rotating those thighs, and then bring it to chest and keep it back. But keep that knee bent as best you can. Reach it back, forward, reach it back, forward. Notice at what point, if any, you go into your lower back instead of staying in hip and glutes, right? Just kind of notice that. And breathe. Good. Last one. This time we're going to hold it back. So hold. Keep that left shoulder from overly pressing into your ear. Squeeze it back. Maybe you can lift it just a little bit. And then lower down to your elbow. Hold that and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower. Ooh, straighten the leg. Take it out in front of you. Straighten your other leg, shake them both out. Good, roll your shoulders, everybody. And breathe. Good, so we're gonna play with a little core thing before we get standing up. I want you to grab your strap. I'm gonna show it to you. I can't tell. I guess I'll show it to you both ways. So I just need to put my glasses on to see if you can even see my feet. All right, there we go. So I want you to take your strap to the bottom soles of your feet. And they're pretty even on both sides. The strap's pretty even. And then wrap your foot with the strap. So from the bottom of the foot, I wrapped around the top, back around the bottom. And then I'm going to give that strap a little snug. Okay, so basically I've just tied my feet up. Okay, so be mindful here. If you've got a tender tailbone or a sore lower back, I really want you to be mindful and engage your belly. So with this tied up feet, hold on to the strap on both sides. Bend your knees and come on down to the floor. Once you're on the floor, take your legs up. This is core work and a little precursor to boat pose. Draw the shoulders back. You're hanging on to the strap. If you have enough strap, wrap the strap around your hands once or twice, just so you really have good purchase on that. And then I want you to pull the legs away from you, but resist with your arms until you start to pull yourself up, bending your elbows, landing pretty slowly into a Dandasana with the elbows at your sides, your chest wide open, belly squeeze. And then you're gonna reverse. So you're gonna, I don't have my strap hard enough. Breathe. Good. So breathe, pull on the strap, lift up, take those legs up. You have to find kind of the right length for your strap. Press your feet away, squeeze in, push, 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 lift up, little boat, down to the floor, Dandasana, and breathe. Good. And then reverse, come on down, push, pull. Do you see that kind of like half boat kind of action there? And then I'm going to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Keep the tension. Breathe. Good. Last one. Start to lower. Push your feet away. Push. Really reach. Really reach. Pull in with the arms. Lower the legs. Lift your chest. Good. And then start to come back. Bend your knees. Come into a nice little boat. Maybe wrap the straps around some more. And breathe. If this feels good, lower back is not caving, straighten the legs, right? I love this version of boat because my legs are kind of hijacked, right? They can't go anywhere, so they're together. This helps me lift, holding and pulling back on the strap, keeps my chest lifted. Everybody breathe. Good, and then bend your knees. And release. And take that lovely strap out. Oh. Good. It's funny how, as yoga teachers, we do things in practice, and then when we do it for class, it isn't always the same, right? It doesn't always work out as well. That might be one of those. All right, come on down to your hands and knees, everybody. Spread your fingers. Feet to the floor, roll your shoulders, squeeze in your belly. Take your right leg back. Lift your right leg, left arm, balancing table. Big squeeze in the belly. One, you're gonna stay right here. Two, 5 of them, elbow to knee. And press out, go slow. And squeeze it in, and out. Good, squeeze, and out. And this is 4, and out. This is 5, and out. Hold. Take your right leg out at a diagonal or out to the side. Take your left arm out to the side. Breathe. Still got a couple more. Take the left hand behind your back and pull the shoulder away from the floor. Lengthen your tailbone. Breathe. Finding that core work, everybody. And release the hand. Everything back to center. Release your left hand, release your right knee. And shake it out. Other side, left leg out. When you're ready, square the hips, tone your belly, lift the leg. Right arm. Find your balance. One side always different than the other. Embrace that. When you're ready, 5 of them, elbow to knee. Push out. And in. Breathe. This is 3. And 2. You got it. And 1. Breathe. Right here. Hold. Out to the side. Arms and legs. Big deep breath. Find that lift. If you're still okay, right hand behind your back. Feel that lengthen your lower back. Belly squeeze. Woo! Release. Back to center. Lower down. Oh. And shake it out. Good. So we're back to a nice square table pose. I want you to take your left. Let's do right leg. I'll turn it around. Let's do right leg first since we just did the other side. Bend the knee. Lift the knee slightly, and then lower to your same side elbow. Lift it, keep it 90-ish, lift, and elbow. Good, lift, elbow, lift, hold, elbow. Last one, lift, knee to elbow, and lift high, hold. Turn the knee out to the side, so as if you were setting that thigh, there you go, buddy, on a table. Drop it down to your other knee, and lift it up. And breathe down, ups. I snuck those in, didn't I? Little fire hydrants, and up, and down. Last one, lift up, and down. Good, lift up, hold. Take that knee back to 90, so you've just rotated again. Squeeze your belly and lower the knee. And breathe. Good, come on up. I'm turning around just so you can see the leg that's actually moving instead of the one that isn't. When you're ready, let's take your left knee to 90 degrees, best you can. Right? Try to keep it level without dropping your lower back. Breathe. And then take that knee to elbow, squeeze it in, press it straight out. Bring it into elbow, press it straight out. Reach. Good. 3 more. In and out and in. Good. 1 more right here. Squeeze it in. Press it out. Make sure your head's not dropping down. Toes are pointing down, and then bend your knee. And breathe. Feel that. And then take that knee, turn it, and bring it out to the side. Drop it down to your opposite knee. And out to the side. 1. Squeeze. 2. Squeeze. 3. You got it. Woo. And 4. Last one, 5. And then hold it up. Bring it back. Turn the knee back down, the foot back up. And lower it down. Good. Right from table pose, bring your right foot forward. Take your hands all the way up to the knee. One that gets us off our wrists. We can shake those out. And we're in a nice high or a nice low lunge, right? Left knee is on the floor. Glutes active. We find that. Your hands stay on your right knee. If you can, bend your back knee. Squeeze it in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Good. Hands to the floor. Very simply, just switch sides. Left foot forward. Right leg back, hands to knee. Bend your back knee. See if you can hold it. Woo, cramp, cramp. If you cramp, let go. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and let go. Good. Slide the left knee back. This is going to be optional. I am borrowing this from my dear friend Deb, who taught this on Monday, if you missed her class. I want you to take the block. If you can, you might not be able to, and there's an option here. One, take your block and squeeze it behind your right knee. If you can't, no way, no how, that's not going to happen. See if you can squeeze your blanket behind your knee, so you're more here. You have a little bit more space, right? So see if that will work for you. If not, there is no reason to have to do this. You're on table pose. All I want you to do is just bend your right foot toward your right hip. So from table, lift your knee and breathe. I want you to squeeze it in, flex your foot, and then lift your knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. See if you can take that leg out to the side and down and up. Hang on to that, baby, if you can. 2, squeeze it in, working hamstring. 3, 4, 5, listen up. See if you can bring the leg forward until you drop your block. And breathe. So your right leg forward lunge. Breathe. Inhale, reach the arms up. Breathe, nice stretch, nice lunge. Exhale, release it down. Good. Bring your right leg back. Take the block behind your left knee. Squeeze it in. It's tricky, right? If you're trying to hold on to a block or a blanket and you're just cussing under your breath, let it go. It's not a big deal. You come right back to that 90 that we did before. But here we have to work the hamstrings a whole bunch more, right? So lift up and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring it out to the side. See if you can hang on. And then down and out. Down. Up. Down. Up. Good. 4. And up. Squeeze it. And down. And then see if you can bring it forward. Oh, and then take your hands to your knee. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale up to a nice lunge. Good. Deep breath, everybody. And then exhale, release. Slide your left leg back to meet your right. Your block's off to the side for now. Plant your hands, squeeze your belly in, lift your knees an inch or 2, and come to downward facing dog. And then pedal your feet. Big deep breath, everybody. And then come all the way up on your tippy toes. Whew. And then stretch the heels back down. Look through your hands, step forward, right leg. Hold that pose. Your left knee can be up or down. It's going to be your choice here. But I want you to squeeze your belly. And then pretend you're going to push yourself off the floor here by pushing down onto the right leg. Hands to your right knee, lift up to a high lunge. Squeeze the legs together almost as if you were squeezing that blanket. And then inhale, reach up. Stretch it out. Notice the tendency to want to drop to the outside of your back foot. If your foot allows, stay on the ball mat. Big deep breath, big stretch, everybody. Squeeze your belly. Take your hands to your heart. Breathe, open up your chest. And then let those hands come down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, stretch it out. And when you're ready, look through your hands, step forward, left leg. Find your pose again. Strong lunge, one way or the other, knee up or knee down. Press strongly into your left foot. Take your hands to your left knee. Roll your shoulders. Squeeze the legs together. Arms up. Big deep breath. Belly toned in, everyone. You got this. Big deep breath. Woo. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Oh. Step back. Lower your knees to the floor. And maybe just for a moment, a little child's pose here. And breathe. And just notice your breath, right? As we let go of the things we thought we knew, as we open the door for new things, different things, right? We expand our horizons. Good. Come on back up to table pose. We're going to do something that I want you all to play with here and decide if it is too hard whether it's on both sides or on one side. I want you to not do the full part of it, okay? So we're in table pose, and I'll show you where we're going. I simply want you to flip toes under and see what it means to lift just one knee, an inch or two off the floor. Now press into the foot that's on the floor and the knee that's on the floor. And then lower that down. Other side, I want you to press into your left knee. For me, it's my left knee, left foot, as I lift the right foot off the floor. And lower down. Go back to the other side, press into your right knee, right foot, lift your left knee, and then just extend your left leg up. And then bring it back. These are the precursors. Lower down. Press strongly into your left knee, left foot, lift your right knee, and then bring the leg back. So that's going to be option number one. Otherwise, when you go back to your right side, I want you to squeeze the heck out of your belly, push, and then lift to a 3-leg down dog. That is harder than it appears, so please don't force that. And then you're going to reverse it, bring your knee to your chest, squeeze, bend slowly, land your knees. For me, my left side is so much easier. So as I push into my left, I can use the quads, so lifting up, straightening the left leg, 3-leg down dog, bending the knees, letting them land together. If that is really not in your wheelhouse today, I want both knees down, both knees lifted. That I know you can do. And then the leg lifts, okay? Because that way you're not weighting the quads that much. So let's go back to the right side. As you press into the right, you're lifting the left. And then you're going to lower down slow, slow, slow. Both knees touch. Left foot comes to the floor. Switch side, lift, 3-leg dog. Bend, go on down. Oh, good. One more, both sides. Lift, take it up. Bend, come back. Last one. Lift. And lower. Good. And sit back either in hero pose or child's pose and take a breath. So what I've noticed through this is that one side is definitely stronger than the other. So when we think about squats, when we think about using our legs, which one is more dominant, which isn't, and how are we using it equally? Because if one leg's always doing more work, then what's going to happen to the hips, right? What's going to happen to the back? All of that stuff. All right, so table pose, flip your toes under, squeeze your belly. Lift your knees an inch or two, squeeze your belly, and then just lift one foot and other foot as if you're marching in place. Right? Not so bad. Breathe, and then lower down. Now here's the challenge. Crawl without moving your, without dropping your knees. We need longer mats, back and forth a couple times. Breathe. Back, 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 and back. And then down dog. Oh. And then walk your feet and your hands together. Bend your knees, everybody. Come all the way up to standing pose. Whew. And shake it out. I want you to grab your blanket roll for a second. Or your towel. Take it to the front of your thighs. Push it in really deep. Bend over that. And then come on down.
If you have a full belly or full bladder, this might not feel great. So just notice, nice wide sit bones. Backs of your knees are soft. Breathe. And then shins press forward just a little bit. Knees bend just a little bit. Take your hands to your front shins and lift your shoulders, chest away from the floor. Good, really breathe. Feel that big stretch through the back hamstrings. Take your hands to your back pockets. Roll the shoulders together. Bend your knees. You still got the blanket. Breathe. Lift the chest. Squeeze the belly in. Take the arms out. You're in a pretty darn deep chair pose. Big deep breath. And then hold on to the blanket and come up to standing. And notice and set the blanket aside. Ooh, right, all the space here as we keep finding more and more of it. So for this next one, if you have a wall or a chair or a desk or something that's close by, you might want it there. Otherwise, it's going to be a little more balanced challenge. If you're on a big double mat, maybe you just set that mat off a little bit, right? So that you've got a solid surface under you. Hands come to your hips. I want you to shift into your right leg, bring your left leg up. Breathe, and then straighten it out. And then take it out to the side until it's pointing back. You should feel a good butt squeeze here. Bring your knee to your chest, same side. If you're near a wall, your opposite side, right, your right hand could be at the wall. Straighten it out. Take it out to the side, squeeze it, hold, bring it up. Good, reach out to the side, squeeze, 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 hips working the whole time. Breathe, knee up. Can we do two more? You can always tap down, by the way, lift out, take it out. Ooh. I know, maybe getting done with hips. What do you think? And up. See if we got one more in us. Out. All the way around. Ooh. And down. Shake it out. Okay. Other side. Once again, hand to a wall makes beautiful sense, right? If you want to work on that good strong mountain pose, belly's toned. When you're ready, shift into your left foot and bring the right leg up. Find your breath. Make sure you're squeezing that standing leg, right? You should be. Straighten it out. Find your still point. Circle it around. Pause. Squeeze your behind and take it up. They call when you cannot control the muscles of your glutes and when you use your low back more, right? It's part of a term called glute amnesia. They forgot. So we're gonna make sure they remember their job. Good, take the knee up, straighten it out, squeeze it around. Standing leg getting tired. Bring it up, we got two more. And out. And around. Woo. There it goes, I lifted the computer. Breathe. And last one, squeeze it up. Take it straight. Squeeze it around. Hold, toes pointing forward, squeeze your butt. And let it go. Yeehaw. There you go, squeeze it out, everybody. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Good, watch the over rounding of your back, right? You should have a fairly neutral low back. You should have a fairly neutral upper back. Breathe, bend your knees. And then take your hands to your knees and come on up. Roll your shoulders. If you have two blocks, grab both blocks. If you only have one block in your blanket, grab those instead. You're going to take either your blanket or one block between your upper thighs. Take it the short way, right, not the long way, so that you have room. Now, and Deb touched on this also on Monday, and I found it kind of an interesting thing. So, for most people, not all, when the inner thighs are internally rotated, if you feel that, right, if your knees even roll in a little bit, you can feel how that widens your sit bones and creates more space here. It's like this was a Pez dispenser. And if somebody pulled that out, what would happen, right? Your butt goes back, your thighs go back, your sacrum opens up. So I want you to get a little bit of that sensation of drawing your sit bones back, drawing your inner thighs back, widening your sacrum. Your second block, or if this is your blanket here at the upper thighs, your block is going to go second width between your shins. So find the spot, right? It's either, for me, I think it feels best when it's the medius part of those shins. So I've got a narrow block here. I've got a wider block at my shins. Here's the second part. Pull the shins in without locking your knees. So squeeze that low block. Now, inner thighs go back. Do you feel that, right? So there's a whole lot going on. Maybe your feet can come a little bit closer, maybe not, right? I'm squeezing in through my shins. I'm reaching out through my pelvis, and then I want to come into a forward fold. So keep all that energy going as you come into forward fold, and see if you can find more freedom. I'm coming up just to talk. If you can find more freedom in your forward fold by aligning the inner line of your legs. Your knees are soft. Another way to say this, I think it's in Anusara, is that your shins are forward and in, your thighs are back and widened. So breathe. And then bend your knees. Blocks are still there. Hands to knees. Come into an interesting chair pose and just see how that feels for you. As the chest lifts, as you're squeezing the blocks, right? Different ways for different reasons. And then stand all the way up. And exhale. Good. And take the blocks out. And I want you to just try one more thing, because we've been working hips, right? Hips for it seems like weeks now, right? I don't know what's going on, but it's hip time. I want you to take your block. Two things. One, if the narrow is going to work for you, I want you to take that as high up into the hips as you can, and then try to walk the feet in. Some of you are going to be able to take the block at second width. You're going to get that block up as high as you can, and then you're going to try to bring the feet into alignment. Now, for me, this does not feel great. It doesn't feel horrible, but it doesn't feel bad. This is Steve Weiss did this at a workshop. He's a chiropractor and yoga teacher, travels all over the place. And he's talking about kind of realigning and resetting the hips and creating space. So if this is tolerable, hang in there just for a couple more breaths. Breathe. So plant the big toe mounds. Find your breath. Notice how you are standing maybe taller. If this is excruciating, please don't do it. And then soften up. Oh, and release your block. Woo! And just kind of feel all of that, right? Just feel what's happening, right? I feel like I've got more blood flow in there. It just feels like there's a little more space in the hips. All right, so final balance pose, and then we'll get our butts down to the floor. I'm watching the time here. Giving you two choices again. We're going to start on the right foot. Choice number one, just a little bit easier, is your version of tree pose. The focus here is not only on this outer hip, but also on the connection between your foot and your inner thigh, wherever that foot is, right? Choice number two, watching your knee. Either you're going to come into a half lotus, which I'll demo briefly but not stay, my knee doesn't like that, or come into a figure four, foot flexed. If you can do that, your foot presses into your thigh's pushing back in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart, whoop, and then start to come into a squat. Breathe. If you're in tree pose, you're in tree pose. You're not squatting in tree pose. Breathe, everybody. If you have chosen this version, a variation of flamingo, take your hands to the floor. Only if you want, straight in your standing leg. Squeeze your belly. Thigh presses into foot, foot presses into or ankle, right? Breathe. Bend your knee. Start to lift your chest. Squeeze that hip. Come on up. Woo! And let go. So we talk about what's all the hip work about, right? Wow. There it is, right? It's all for a reason. It helps us. It doesn't just help our yoga, of course it does, but it helps our lives, our walking, living, breathing, standing, moving lives. All right, other side, once again, your choice. If balance poses are tricky, you're in tree pose, your fingertips are to the wall, please honor your process. If your knee allows, you're way up here, foot is way up at the groin for a half lotus, otherwise more figure four like I've got it. Hands come to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart as you come into a squat. Find your still focus point. Breathe. You might stay right there, feeling the hips working, or the hands come to the floor. The left leg straightens. Big deep breath. Nice wide chest. And then bend your knee. You're coming out the way that you came in. Squeeze your belly. Hands come to your heart. Lift up your heart. Straighten your legs. And release. And shake it out, everybody. Oh. Good. And if you moved your mat out of the way like I did, go ahead and put it back right where it was. We got one more move once we get to the floor. So inhale, reach up. Nice wide space, come on down. Bend your knees, and in any yogic way, I want you to come down to the floor and come onto your back. Your knees are bent, have a block nearby. And lower down. Oh. And just feel neutral, right? Feel that nice neutral pose. And then grab your block. Block is optional. Take the block behind your knee and squeeze it in toward chest. Again, block is optional, and this whole part. So we're going to come into a bridge with the right knee where it is. Again, I'm borrowing some things from my dear friend Deb. As you press into your left foot, don't even lift, but feel what it feels like to engage your whole left side in order to think about lifting up. That might be where you stay. You might just play right there. Your hands are either palms down on the floor or your upper body. Your upper arms are pressing into the floor. Your fingertips are to the ceiling. But when and if you're ready, squeeze your belly, press into your left foot hard, and lift your hips off the floor. And breathe. Ooh, right? And feel your left hip working pretty darn hard here. So breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And release your block. Good. Left block underneath your left knee, optional. Blanket is another choice here, or none of the above. You're just going to see if you can get some purchase here and hang on to it. Hands either down to the floor. I like the version where the arms, the upper arms are pressing into the floor. It gives me some more ways to press down to lift up. Press into your right foot, engage before you even lift, and take the hips up. Yeah, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take the block out. Release. Hands back down to your sides. No block. Bring your right knee toward your chest. Press into your left leg and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either stay here or straight in the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend first, lower, and lower both hips. And maybe that felt pretty good, right? As we keep strengthening the hips and the glutes, it's going to get easier and easier, just like balancing table. All right, last side. Left knee in, foot's flexed. Squeeze and press the upper arms to the floor. When you're ready, squeeze into your right foot and lift. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. Lower the hips. Woo! And release. Just straighten the legs for a moment. We're going to do a little psoas stretch before we end class. Grab your block. If you don't have a block, your pillow folded up or a thick towel will work. Bend your knees, lift your hips, and take the block underneath your sacrum. Most of you I know, so you've heard me say a million times, the block is nowhere near your lower back. If you put your hands on your hip bones, right on your hips, the block should be below the pelvic rim, so that it's on that solid sacrum and not on the soft flesh of your low back. Bring your right knee, let's switch so you can see what I'm doing. Bring your left knee to chest. You can hold on to the leg or not, and slowly straighten your right leg to the floor. What's interesting about this pose, so you're stretching the front right psoas muscle. It works better if you don't work it. Like if you don't flex everything and hold everything and squeeze everything, if you just let gravity take the leg to the floor, you'll get a more of a release. If this hurts for any reason, your sacrum or otherwise, please come on out and just do knee to chest. But otherwise, I want you to see if you can just relax here and breathe. And imagine the front of your thigh like a piece of taffy, right, in the sun. Not too much, but it's slowly and very gently stretching out because it's so warm, right? It just is comfortable letting go. We did a ton of hip flexor work, so this is a stretch for it. Nice deep breath. Exhaling it all the way out. Good, one more big deep breath right here. And then slowly slide your right foot back until both knees are equal. Keep your right knee in and stretch the left leg all the way to the floor. I'm not even holding my right knee. It's not going to go anywhere. I don't have to use my hands. I can let my upper body be soft. Try to relax the left side. You're going to notice one side tighter than the other. So just breathe right here. Can you let go? Remember the poem this morning. Can you let go and just be here, right? I know you have other things to do, other places maybe to go, but this is the moment. This is it. So just breathe. Maybe a little smile comes to your face. You know that you have made it through another practice. You have made it to the mat and through class. And that's saying a lot. It really is. It's a wonderful thing. Good, and then slowly bring that knee toward chest, only if it is appropriate, both legs up. So, nice, easy inversion, watch your lower back. If it hurts, try planting the sacrum more so that you don't get as much. Try to find a place where your legs don't have to work so much. They're just up in the air. There's a reason they shouldn't be, right? High blood pressure, all that stuff. Take them down. Just pause right here just for a moment. And then bend your knees. Bring them toward your chest. Bring one foot to the floor to start. Other foot to the floor. Lift up your hips. Squeeze your butt. Take your block out. And then lower so that your hips hit first, or your glutes come down first. Bring both knees to chest. Roll them to one side, just a super quick reset of the spine. Little twist. Back to center, go to the other side, little baby twist. Back to center, and then to Shavasana. Find your amazing Shavasana. Whether it's legs straight or knees bent, whether your blanket is under your knees or under your head. Just breathe here. Just let go of anything but this present moment. Right here, right now. Feel the smooth breath flowing in effortlessly, flowing out effortlessly. Thoughts flow in and out just as effortlessly.
You feel any tension coming into your body, just let it melt into the mat. Once again, being willing to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer if your body and mind would like to stay there. Otherwise, wiggling toes and fingers. Slowly bringing those knees back to your chest. Rocking side to side, allowing the knees to roll to one side or the other. And then coming all the way back up to a seated pose. And bringing your hands to your heart, bowing to this grace and ease and willingness to be where we are right now. Namaste.